The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily represent those of this station or its management.
This is the Stockwell Roueche Show, giving you real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Josh Roueche.
Can you buy a new home and have bad credit? That's the question of the day. Welcome, Twin Cities. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results, and my partner,
Matt Bjorgum.
Oh, wait, Josh isn't here. It's Matt Bjorgum.
Right.
Josh is out ill today. He is recovering from a trip to Vegas for the RE/MAX International Convention that we were both on. And Eric Perkins is here with us today. He's also out there for that. And it's been a lingering head cold and sickness, and hopefully, Josh, you're listening out there and you're feeling better out there. But you're listening to the Stockwell Roueche Show. So Josh Roueche's out, so it'll be the Stockwell Bjorgum Show. Is that right?
That works for me. That works for me.
So we have a great show: credit repair and how to buy new construction. And Warren Bauerfeld is here. He's with Credit Repair Minnesota. We're going to be talking about the credit repair and how to fix your credit. Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance, talking about insuring new homes and how to buy that, because it's different than maybe than just getting a quote and insuring your new one or your old one. So we'll talk more about that. Eric Perkins, who's a realtor with RE/MAX Results, also a top builder in the Edina area, and not necessarily top builder when I say on number of homes, but on quality of homes. I can safely say that. So Eric Perkins is here as well. So we have a very, very full expert panel for you today. So a lot of great information, and hopefully we'll all be spilling a lot of our great knowledge out onto you today. So thank you, loyal listeners, for listening to the Stockwell Roueche Show. We start off every show with an update on the market. And if you're not paying attention to the market or watching anything or reading anything because you're outside, because the weather's been phenomenal, I don't blame you for that. That's what I've been doing as well.
I don't blame you at all.
We've been dogging away, though, working because the market's hot, just like the weather, and that's all you need to know. Market update is the market is hot, but we'll get into some details and numbers on that. So Eric Perkins, RE/MAX Results, has some information on the new construction market that he'd like to share. Eric, welcome. Your debut on radio. How do you feel?
I'm feeling fine.
Good.
So, as far as the update I've been seeing in the new construction, I can go over some of the stats for the last 12 months.
Yeah, what's happened in 12 months of new construction? Is it? I just on the streets, I'm seeing people. You know, the parade's going on right now, the parade of homes, and I've seen a lot of people looking and actually moving forward on them. But what are the numbers showing on that from the Minneapolis Area Association?
Well, it's kind of interesting. It's a little mixed, but these are like the median pricing and days on market here. From 2012 to 2015, the median price went from $365,708 and it jumped to $395,000, so it's about an 8% increase
In median price.
Yep.
Nice.
In median price in the last 12 months. And then also, let's see, the days on market until sale went from 2014, went from 96 days, went down to 49 days on the market. So that's a 49% decrease on
So
the
they're
days.
selling faster.
That's
good.
awesome. That's good
Yep.
news.
And we're all seeing that out there, and you're probably seeing that when you talk to you out there listening. If you talk to your friends, your family members, coworkers, they're housing. People are talking about it, and they're buying and they're pulling the trigger because the rates are going to go up. And I can say that safely because that's what we're hearing from the Fed and stock market and everything is indicating that rates will go up. So everybody's trying to make a move now and get in on the low rates that are there right now. So,
Yeah.
any other information or?
Well, like the pending sales, though, have gone down just a little bit, like 2.4% this last 12 months from the same time. The price per square foot has jumped. I haven't quite figured out why. I'm thinking maybe the materials, and I know the land price has kind of jumped up a little bit too in the last year because the lots are getting hard to find.
The average price per square foot, how much does it go by?
Well, it went up to $156 a square foot.
Is that state average or is that just metro?
That's just the metro area.
Yeah.
So, went up 5.2% in the last 12 months.
Probably labor and materials, I would imagine. That's the key factor. And then the lot prices. Everything is going up with the market. As the market goes up in real estate, everything else goes up. Other statistics for you out there. The actual inventory, or they call it supply of housing. So that the amount, if no new houses were to go on the market today forward, there's a 3-month supply that's the same as it was last year, which is low historically. We're usually around 6%. So if you're, or 6 months. So if you're a seller looking to sell, great time to sell. Buyer, same thing. Rates are good, and house appreciation is projected to be very, very strong in Minneapolis this year for 2015. Maddie B, mortgages. What's happening in the lender world right now? A lot, right?
A lot's happening in the lender world right now. Talking about new home purchases, we've seen the lenders come out and loosen up some of their guidelines in regards to FHA financing, which is a great first-time homebuyer program. They just lowered down the mortgage insurance premium. Rates are holding pretty steady. We saw a couple of little ticks up, couple little ticks down over the last week, kind of following the stock market, what's going on out there right now. We saw, based on what I'm seeing online, we saw about a 1.3 decrease in applications from last week to this week, and that just has a little bit to do with everybody watching the news, saying, the interest rates are ticking up. That gets blasted. Interest rates tick down. It gets blasted, and it's leaving a lot of people sitting on the fence, not really knowing what to do. We had a decrease in the amount of refinance applications, but when it comes down to the new purchase application, it's my business is holding extremely steady. It's an average of about 3 or 4 applications a day still. So.
Yep, and what I saw is, so anytime there's positive economic news, jobs report came out a week ago Friday, and it came with more jobs created than expected, so therefore the market reacted and the rates went up about a quarter point.
Yep.
That affected some people that actually were that didn't lock their rate.
Mm-hmm.
So the key, for you out there listening, is if you're comfortable with what they're telling you, your loan officer's telling you,
lock your interest rate.
Yes, I would recommend lock. I mean, we can't tell you have to lock, but man, advice from us is lock if you're comfortable, because the chances of going up are higher than the chances going down. Now, if it does go down, you'll work with it or figure it out. But if you're comfortable with the rate you're getting, because you don't want to be waiting, hoping they go down and then they go up, and then now your payments increase. And that's what happened last week with the jobs report. So, and probably going to see more of that, because the stock market went down the other day dramatically because of news that Fed might raise rates in June. Right. So all that stuff you can pay attention to, but. The key is overall very good time to sell and buy. So if you've been waiting, now's the time. So go to talktwincitiesrealestate.com, talktwincitiesrealestate.com, or find us on Facebook under the Stockwell Roueche Show, and you can see what all of us look like. You see Eric, you can see Ben, Maddie B, and you can see Warren, and see all of our faces, and all of our info will be on there, and our company information if you have. And we're here as a resource for questions, free consultation and questions for you anytime. So with that, that's the market update. The topic of today: credit repair and buying a new home. They may not sound like they go hand in hand, because people that need credit repair might not even consider a new home. But Warren Barfeld is here to talk about credit repair and how that can be done. How you could actually go for a new home, or a home in general, to buy a new home. So Warren, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
How's everything going in your business and credit repair? And are you seeing people more positive, like inquiring in, saying, hey, I really want to do this now with a plan, or what's kind of the general? Because I'm seeing a lot more positivity in the overall market. I don't know how it is in the credit repair business.
Well, actually, Jason, you're absolutely right. We've been hitting records, I think, every week now, last 4 or 5 weeks with our company, as people are, inquiring, how do I get my score up? Because, as we've gone through a downtime with our economy, and now kind of moving forward, it seems like, there's a number of Americans that have lost their buying potential and their buying power, and now they're trying to get that straightened out. And we have a solution to help them with that and get that credit score up, which is going to put them in that position to not just also, consider being able to take advantage of today's market in the home, with building and all those great things going on here right in the Twin Cities, but also even saving money on, car loans, car insurance, insurance even like with Ben, all those things are affected by your credit score. So when we help you get your score up, that's it literally translating into saving you thousands of dollars. So of course, we're getting approached more and more as we just continue to work forward helping people.
Warren, from an update I saw, I read a lot of articles and see a lot of stuff come through on the news. I saw somewhere where it was either Facebook or on an email where they said there's some new thing that's going to make it easier for people to fix their credit. Is that true, or what? Was that just a marketing from a credit repair company, or was it a true deal from the government, or what's going on?
Well, in order to repair your credit score, you really need to understand the laws and your rights, and that's basically under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which was passed by Congress in '70, and that right actually gives you, the ability to open an investigation on any item on your credit report. And of course, there are different ways you can do that. The best thing about our service is we do all that for you. So we make sure that you're using the right legal language, the documents are going to the right place with the right documents included in that. So it's really having, a professional take care of that for you. Many of us could maybe say we could swing a bat and take a swing at a fastball, but the chances of a professional hitting that baseball are much, much better. And so we're those professionals, and we're going to be able to hit that ball out of the park for you in this area.
And so if your credit score is, question I have too ties into that. Is it a lot of people? Is it because of the job market has increased? In other words, we've gotten less unemployment, more people have jobs. Is that why you're seeing a lot more people inquire into you, because they're seeing the bigger picture? They're saying, hey, I have a job, I'm no longer unemployed, now I'm looking for the next step. I want to lower my bills. I want to get a house. I want to. Is that kind of the bigger picture that people are seeing? That's
definitely part of the big picture. But again, as people, and again, it just depends on the situation. People go through a lot of different things, so there's a lot of variables. Even something like a divorce, or the loss of a job, or change in location. All these things can affect your lifestyle and what you're going through, and you think about peaks and valleys in life, and sometimes our lives takes us through the valley, but as we kind of rise above that and we start moving forward, these scars that we are left from behind from on our credit report, now we have that opportunity to clean those up and to get those things straightened out and head right back up to that mountaintop.
So Warren, last question for right now. How would someone go about that? What would your recommendation be, or a few things for someone out there that's listening that says, hey, I do want to buy a new house, and I've never thought it was possible. My credit's crappy. What do I do? And we'll have to get back to that when we get back from break. Money. We're talking about credit repair. Warren will be back explaining the answer to that and how you can do it if you have bad credit and buy a new home. You're listening to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
I'm Matt Bjorgum, and Josh is out sick.
With Gradient Home Mortgage, Matty B's filling in. Thanks, guys.
So charge it up, ain't got no cash today. And charge it up, plastic fee.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell.
And I'm Matt Bjorgum with Gradient Home Mortgage.
I hope that is not your theme song, Warren, at your company, Minnesota, Credit Repair Minnesota. That better not be. Charge it up.
No.
Sometimes in life, like you talked about, you have to do that. You have to make sacrifice. Something emergency happens. Hey, you don't have that safety net saved up, and you got to put it on a credit card, and then something else bad happens, and they go in threes, and all of a sudden now you're in the tank, and you're coming on out. So before we left, we talked about how you can, if you do have bad credit, how you can buy a new home or a home. So Warren, what's the process for that, or what's going on with that, or what do you think about that?
Well, I think that's what we want to really help the folks out there to understand and to do, that is a possibility, and that really kind of led segue right into what we want to talk about next year. Is we would like to be able to provide for those of you listening out there an opportunity to come and kind of understand what that takes. How can I move from where I'm at in my position here, whether you're renting or whatever, and possibly have that home ownership. So what we would like to do is invite you to an opportunity to have a place where you can come to a seminar and learn about how to turn your rent payment into your mortgage payment. I mean, think about how many people would like to just take that, X
Switch-
amount of dollars that they're paying.
Flip a switch. If I could say, hey, if I could flip a switch and turn this money I'm paying in rent every month and actually towards a mortgage, decreasing my principal and having ownership. So how to make your rent payment a mortgage payment. I love it.
How's that? Let's maybe call that a process, huh? I wish
Well, I
it was
wish
as
it-
easy as flipping
Yeah,
a
I know.
switch.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy.
But there is the process, right? And
Yep.
just think of the benefits of that as you move into that. Having your own place, your dream home, and a financial investment, and all those great things sitting there for you. So what we'd like to offer today to the audience, to the listening audience, is that ability to come to a seminar where you can learn the path of how to do that and just get some more education. So we would like to offer that up on March 30th. It's a Monday night at 7 p.m. And we'll discuss that location and so forth. But if you're interested in that, now we're only going to be able to host a certain amount of people. So about 10 couples, 10 people that can come and are interested in that. So don't delay. But why don't you go ahead and give me a call, and I'll give you some more information on how to get registered for that and how we can just kind of sit down with you with kind of a personal flavor and help you on that path to turning your rent payment into your mortgage payment. So again, my cell phone number is 612-889-1117, and that's really the best way to reach me directly at that, and we'll help you out with that process.
So a free seminar, 7 p.m. on March 30th, 612-889-1117. Call Warren about that. There's no obligation. There's gonna be snacks. There'll be I don't know if there'll be maybe some beers. If
There may
maybe if someone wants to have a beer or a drink or waters, but it'll be very informative for you, but also not something that you're like, oh, you're scared to go to a seminar. It's a very, very educational seminar, and Warren's a super nice guy, and he'll educate, and you get a lot out of it. For you or a friend or a family member or coworker will get a lot out of it if you know someone that's considering buying a new home but just doesn't know where to go and does want to take those rent payments, which are going up and still going up, and turn that into a mortgage payment with the low rates right now and owning something. It's a great resource. So we'll have information on that on talktwincitiesrealestate.com. talktwincitiesrealestate.com. It'll be on there as well. Otherwise, the number again, 612-889-1117. And call Warren too if you have any other questions, not even for the seminar, but just, hey, how do I get my score up? Or, hey, how can I save $100 a month on my auto loan or on my insurance and things like that? So just reach out to him. He's a very, very honest, good local person with great information and resources. So thank you, Warren, for that information. We'll be back with more with Warren, but now Ben Nelson and New Home Construction and Eric Perkins. Quick question for you guys. I'm reading here the top 10 reasons to buy new construction. Eric, you can tell me if this is true or false. You did not write this, Eric, by the way. Top reason, and we had Bob Lux on here a couple weeks ago, and he talked about this one. Number one, warranties. Builders love warranties. You're warranting the home for 1, 2, and 10 years, which is a good thing for buyers. Number two, energy efficiency. Going to be higher energy efficiency standards in your home. Safety features is number 3. They're built with all the latest safety features and codes. Low maintenance costs, so that maybe goes with your energy efficiency. And then number 5, simplified financing. We'll have to ask Maddie B about that one. Number 6, the floor plans. You can customize the floor plans. They're the most modern new floor plans. 7 is appreciation. They tend to appreciate at higher rates. Number 8 is modern amenities. Everybody loves that, or a lot of people love modern amenities and buying new. And number 9 is availability. You don't have to remodel something to get what you want. You have it right then, there, and now. And then number 10 is location. You're going to get into a new community or into a location that you want to be in. So top 10 reasons why you would buy new construction. Eric, what are your thoughts on these, and are these true? And what do you think about more to say about those as far as that? Is that what you're seeing when you build for a particular buyer or a custom home, or you're putting a spec home up? Is that some of the things that people are saying? They want to pick a location, or they want to pick their certain thing in their house, or they want this to be that way, or that hallway to be that way, or that bedroom, and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, usually now people, like if it's a 2-story, they'll want 4 bedrooms upstairs on the main or up on the top floor. It's been kind of interesting, like in the last 12, 14 years when the interest rates, were 6-7% back in 2003, 4, and 5. It was interesting how it was just more cost on a house where, well, we'll put the deck on later, we'll do the basement, we'll finish that later. But it's interesting now when the interest rates are at around 4 hovering, everybody is kind of a little more fussier on the new construction. They want everything just perfect.
And they want it all done.
They want all the
Basement
decks,
finish, deck, everything.
landscaping, anything you think of.
Fences, get it all in there.
Yep, even shades. Some people want everything, and the toilet paper holders, everything.
Yep.
And roll it all in the loan because they want to stay there 30 years and concentrate on their family or their job. So it's been kind of an interesting.
It makes sense. That makes sense. If you can get a low rate on your finish of your basement instead of having I drive around certain areas all the time and I see these developments that were built 10 years ago and there still isn't a deck on the house. I imagine when the homeowner bought that new construction, that was the first thing. We'll put that deck on ourselves. Mm-hmm. We'll save the $4,000 from the builder and we'll put the deck on next year.
Yeah,
and then it becomes next year.
Yeah,
and then next year, and then next year. Life happens.
Yeah, life happens 10 years later, or that basement's unfinished still, and that might work. Some people use it as a rec room, which I think is cool for the kids.
Yep.
But generally, a lot of times that's something that's going to be done, but it doesn't get done. And if we've all, as agents, have been in a house where the basement was finished by the homeowner after they bought it,
it's different.
It's definitely different, to say in a kind way, than the finishes on the main and second floor.
Kind of gives it away a little.
you can sense it immediately. You can tell right away, oh, someone finished this, and it wasn't probably the builder. And they maybe didn't hire a contractor. It might have been the buddies and some beers and pizzas.
Yeah, good weekend project.
Yeah.
But Eric, quick question on the new. What are you seeing as far as the latest and greatest? We talk about the latest technology and the parades going on right now, and you or your friends go out on the Saturday, Sunday, just check them out. Just look at some of the cool features that they have in some of these homes. Technology. What are they? Are there some things they can do? Or I've heard people say Apple, or they're integrating their whole Wi-Fi systems, or not Wi-Fi, but I'm not a technical guy. What are some of the things they're doing in the home to make it user friendly to today's technology?
Well, now, we used to put speakers in and put the alarm panels in and everything, but now there's so much a variety of companies out there, so it's more doing all the pre-wiring. So then it...
so you get it pre-wired to what they
can come in and plug and play what they want.
Yeah, you can plug and play, and it's more wireless now. Wi-Fi, the speakers you can install for like Sonos. Speaker systems.
Oh, yeah.
I know somebody who's got that entire system in their house and they love it.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of you're almost better off just doing a few pre-wires in the house.
And then I see your Apple, your USB chargers. I see those out. I know you did a house, or a couple houses that have those where you just plug it in.
Yep. When you come in from the mudroom, from the garage, have a little drop station, they call it. So they have the USB cord, so you can plug in your cell phones, your laptops, so it's ready to go the next morning. It's always kind of a good hit.
You don't forget it that way either. I always forget my computer at home because I throw it under my bed to charge it up.
Yeah.
Those are really cool technical features that they have now. Any other ones that are?
Well, I've seen they'll wire it at the front door, so you can add a camera.
Oh,
so then they have a little TV screen in the kitchen. You can see who's ringing the door, if you want to answer it or not.
And no one make a sound. No one make a sound. We've all been there, right?
Shut the lights off.
Yep. And if they have a pre-stress under the garage, you'll have a sport court or something.
Oh, yes. I read an article on sport courts. It's the latest thing. Yep. Everybody wants a basketball or hockey, right?
Yep. And that's where you have the camera so you can see if the two brothers are getting along playing basketball in the basement. So there's a lot of different amenities you can add, and
tons of them. So sport court might be in the higher price range, I would imagine. Generally, it'd probably be a little bit, because they go down quite deep and they're quite expensive.
Yeah. And the big thing too is the garage doors. The garage door openers now.
Yeah.
You can get the wireless right to your smartphone, so you can actually program your iPhone So when you come in, you can open up your garage door or your thermostats. There's all kinds
All
of
that
things
stuff.
you can.
You'll learn more about. Thanks,
Yeah.
Eric Perkins, Remax Results, Minnesota Design Build. You'll learn more about these technology features and remodeling features. You should come to the Minneapolis Remodeling Expo. We're going to be live from there. We're going to have a booth April 10th, 11th, and 12th. From there, and we'll be live on Sunday the 12th. And you can go to homeshowcenter.com or go to our show, email in or call in, and we will give you free tickets. 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773. You're listening to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
I'm Matt Bjorgen with Gradient Home Mortgage.
And we got to get Ben back because we got to talk to Ben about insurance and how you can insure your new homes. Welcome back to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
I'm Matt Bjorgen with Gradient Home Mortgage.
Filling in for the great Josh Roueche, who is out ill today. We've been talking with a wonderful expert panel, Warren Bauerfeld, Credit Repair Minnesota, on how you can go from turning your rent into a mortgage payment, your rent payment into a mortgage payment. We're holding a seminar April 30th at 7 p.m.
March.
Oh, I'm sorry. March 30th. Thank you, Warren. March 30th. I'm jumping the gun here. March 30th, 7 p.m. And you can call him to register for that. It's free, 612-889-1117. We have Maddie Bjorgen with Gradient Home Mortgage here talking about lending and what's going on in the market with lending. And Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance. We're going to get into insurance rates on new construction, how they compare. And then Eric Perkins with Minnesota Design Build and Remax Results, who's built a number of homes and understands the new construction process and how it works. We went over the top 10 reasons on why to buy a new home and the market update as well. Events for you. These are events that you or someone you know might want to attend or learn about. First off, we just talked about March 30th, 7 p.m. on how to get your rent to a mortgage payment. You can call Warren for that. The other ones are the Real Estate Pros for a Cause. If you have anybody who's been afflicted or affected by breast cancer, this is a fundraising event, and it's a great time. It's at the Cambria Gallery, downtown Minneapolis, and it's on April 16th. And it's all real estate agents. We're the bartenders serving you, and it's bridesagainstbreastcancer.org. Bridesagainstbreastcancer.org. A wonderful organization and a wonderful event that they're doing locally here in the Minneapolis area. And that is, again, April 16th, 6 p.m., and that's a good event. And then, of course, the Remodeling Expo, Minneapolis Remodeling Expo, the 10th, 11th, and 12th will be there. The home show, go to homeshowcenter.com, homeshowcenter.com. All of this is on the Talk Twin Cities Realestate.com, TalkTwinCitiesRealestate.com, or Facebook, Stockwell Roueche Show. Our number, 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773, if you have any questions. If you're on break, Warren brought up a great point about if you're out there listening and you're in your home and you are in an age group that's upper age group, the gray hair or silver hair tsunami that we talked about before. Warren might be part of that group, but you have to go to our Facebook to maybe see the video to verify. But anyway, if you're saying, hey, let's just tough it out, right, Warren? You're saying, we're either tough it out in this home, the doors are too narrow, we've got to climb the steps. What if they could, right, build...
Well, yeah, as you start moving into that age bracket where you're like, okay, the kids are starting to leave, it's just us now, the house is too big, we don't need all these bedrooms, those kinds of things, and you're thinking, what are our options? Maybe we need to just stay here and stick it out, But what if you didn't have to do that? What if you could kind of make a horizontal move where, your expenses for your house, which is really your investment, remains the same, but you could actually go out and build a new quality home and have it really designed that's going to not only fit your needs today, but then as you move into the future and on in years and stuff like that, and being able to have the amenities that you want in a new home, but still have that investment. And as Ben will be talking about, even how that's infected your insurance and saving you money with that. I mean, that's just a definite possibility, right?
I like that idea. And I personally am working with a developer that actually has 2 projects going that are exactly that. They're one level. Roseville Garden Station. If anybody's in Roseville or looking to consider Roseville, they're going to have 18 units is the plan now, all one level. And what they're doing on these, which is really cool, is they're putting in wider doors, and they're actually bracketing. So we know when you go to the bathroom and you have the railing there for the handicap or for older people.
ADA.
Yeah, they're not putting that in, but they're having the infrastructure behind the drywall so that you can go in there and when, let's say you're in your 50s and you're gonna or your 60s and you're gonna be there for a long time, maybe you do need that, and instead of going to assisted living or somewhere else, you can stay in your place and just add those brackets or add those things, and they're having a walk-in shower instead of a tub. Those sorts of little things, but long-term thinking for people. So that's RosevilleGardenStation.com. That's where that right off of Dale and 36 is one development. Then another development is in Richfield. And that's going to be off Penn and 76 by the Best Buy headquarters. Both those developments you can call if you have questions on those, or go to those websites, or go to our website, talktwincitiesrealestate.com. Great point, Warren. And that lateral move of, instead of just saying, we're going to suck it out here and tough it out, we can go into our new place and have a new home. So
you got to remember too that this show and we are here as a resource for you guys to help you accomplish the things that you want in your life in real estate. And as we also say, knowledge is power, right? So
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to use the knowledge that is accessible to you from this show and the websites and so forth and so on, and help you make some great decisions in your life.
And so with that, Ben Nelson, who's a great resource, saved me a ton of money on car insurance, and I'm not going to do the commercial on, that to do on TV, but you truly did save me a ton of money on auto, home, and my rental policy. Ben Nelson, Farmers Insurance. What is it like for people that if you're out there looking to buy a new home, and is it different? Is it easier, better, safer? What's the deal with buying a new home and insuring it?
So insurance-wise, it's going to be way cheaper to do a new construction. Main reason is everything is new. The main rating factor right now on insurance in Minnesota is the roof, just because we get hit 4 years or 4 seasons all year round. So right now, that is the biggest rating factor, is the condition your roof is in and how old it is. So farmers, what we do is we give you a discount on your insurance. It's a prorated discount back 6 years, I believe it is. So the newer the roof, the cheaper your insurance is going to be. What that discount also goes for is things like plumbing, heating, electricity. So the newer the stuff, the cheaper the insurance is going to be. A lot of times you can get a bigger brand new home for cheaper insurance than what you had at your older house. Like I said, everything is brand new. The chances of pipes freezing in a house built in 1950 are a lot more than the chances of a pipe freezing in a brand new house.
Yep.
And I can attest to what Ben's talking about here in the lending side of things. I like doing new construction because I know my clients are getting something that's phenomenal, and the cost of insurance that Ben showed me for the clients that we're working on that are purchasing new construction versus the clients that are buying a house that maybe built in the 50s, the 60s, even the 80s and 90s. The difference in the amount that these clients are paying versus what the cost for like the new construction stuff we've looked at recently has been, the spread has been so wide. It really holds true to what Ben's saying.
I'm working on a policy right now. It's a brand new construction house being completed as we speak, and it's a $200,000 build. So the house will be insured for $200,000. The policy with a $1,000 deductible is $560 a year.
That's incredible.
It's dirt cheap. It's under $45 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy for $200,000. And then if there were to be a total loss there, we'll go above 125%. So we'll go to $250,000. To rebuild your house for $500 a year. It's crazy how cheap it is. A lot of times you send back the quotes to the people and they're like, well, that can't be right. You got to be missing something.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is.
It is what it is.
I insured a house out in Plymouth. Brand new development out on the west side of town where all the big ones are going up. $750,000 reconstruction cost. The yearly premium on that thing was $1,300.
For $700. Wow.
That's $109 a month.
Yeah, you're blowing us away, Ben. So people are going to call you and want their insurance for $50 a month. So I don't know if you're ready for that. But if you want to call Ben, I would definitely inquire, because he's a phenomenal service. Very, very honest gentleman. And, I was skeptical of everybody when I meet him initially, because we're all in business. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And it saved me thousands and thousands. I can't thank Ben enough. You can reach him 320 320-630-8385. 320-630-8385. Find them on our website, talktwincitiesrealestate.com. Maddie B, I have a question. Turn it over to mortgages on the top 10 new construction. Eric, there's a top 10 list.
Yep.
The financing piece. It said easier to get financing. Now, I have a question about that. Is that what it says there, Eric,
Yep.
in the financing? It says it's easier to get financing? What's the deal with that, Maddie B? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, actually, I do. When it comes down to it, like, I got a new construction up in the Monticello area that we're dealing with right now. And the lenders, like, with weather-related stuff, because I know some of the stuff it talked about on here is, like, let's say you want to get a swimming pool put in, or you want your landscaping, or your garage floor can't be done, because we live in Minnesota, and it's cold here for 9 months out of the year. The lenders understand with new construction more that there's some weather-related things that can't be done, like you can't get your swimming pool put in. You can't do it because of the weather. But we can wrap those things into the cost of the new purchase, which is significantly easier than trying to go and say, okay, well, I got an existing house, and I need to go try to tap into my equity, where the equity position that these lenders are in, where they'll give you cash to do those things, they're a little gun shy still. So having the ability to build your house and having all the amenities you want in, let's say you want a stamped concrete patio in the back, you want to do the swimming pool, or you're going to do the sports court, it's better to be able to have that all in the initial bid and in the initial build, so when we're done, it's already all part of the transaction, instead of trying to do that stuff later.
Yeah, and that's what Eric talked about. Eric Perkins talked about that, where instead of saying, hey, and we're dealing with this right now, Eric, on a transaction where there's no deck, but our patio, they want it in before they close, and they want it financed in the deal, because why not if it's at 4%? Now, I'm not going against Dave Ramsey and not financing everything, but in your home, it might be a little different, especially with rates right where they're at. So you're listening to the Stockwell Roueche Show. We'll be back very soon.
Welcome home, you. I know you by name. How do you do?
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
I'm Matt Bjork with Gradient Home Mortgage.
Maddie B is a wonderful fill-in for Josh Roueche. Josh, I'm not saying you don't look good, but Maddie B might be a little better looking.
He looks way better in the Josh Sheeny costume, though.
Speaking of that, if you want to check us out on YouTube and see what everybody looks like and get more information, talktwincitiesrealestate.com. talktwincitiesrealestate.com. It's a long domain, but you can find us there, and type carefully, as they say. And then Facebook, Stockwell Roueche. Find us, Stockwell Roueche Show on Facebook. Just search Stockwell, and it'll come up right away on there, and you can see us on there. So I had the pleasure of being in Las Vegas for the RE/MAX International Convention. Wonderful organization, wonderful company, wonderful training and seminars. And I would tell people, out there, if you're listening, anything you can do. Target laid off, 1,700 people last week.
Yeah.
The stock market dropped, the biggest drop it had been in years. So there's a lot of doomsdayer thoughts going out there. We're on this show, we're all very positive. We're all, we sell a service, and we're all very, positive and seeing the things that are right now, it's very positive. But the doomsdayers are saying that, something bad is going to happen and something bad could happen. All that comes down to is preparation. So I had the pleasure of being out there in Vegas attending a couple of things. One of them was the Dave Ramsey group, the ELS group. Both Josh and I are now part of the program. So if you are familiar, and I know he's on a different network, so the Patriot, I apologize, I'm just not I'm endorsing Dave Ramsey a little bit because he's got phenomenal information. But the information he has is great, and the principles about the debt and debt is bad and all those things, we encourage that because we want you to be informed, educated, and make good decisions. That was one of them. The second one that I went to as my favorite was a guy named Darren Hardy, and he spoke to us for 3 hours, which is a long time to listen to someone, and yet you're engaged the whole 3 hours. He's a founder and editor and everything, author of Success Magazine. I'm not being paid by him. I'm just very passionate about the message he preaches and talks about. And he has a new book called The Roller Coaster, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. And it is true. Everybody in this room knows it, and everybody who's been an entrepreneur went on their own. So all of the target people, the 1,700, and maybe some of you out there that are wanting to do something more, and are frustrated, or have a great idea but just don't know how to start, This book, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, goes over exactly how to do it, and it is a roller coaster. It's a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and he talked about a lot of very valuable information, and it was encouraging and great to see all kinds of other entrepreneurs doing that. So there's a lot of things you can do, and part of it is keeping your house in order, your credit in order, by employing Warren's help if you need it at Credit Repair Minnesota, talking to Maddie B about saying, hey, where am I at on my mortgage, going and getting a second quote from Ben Nelson on your insurance, and then talking to us, me, Eric, Josh, and realtors about how you can invest, how you should buy, what recommendations you take to sell. All of us are pros in the business, and we're here to help you. So keep it positive. Even though my whole message in that whole little speech there was keep it positive, because there's a lot of people and if something bad happens, make sure you're prepared for something bad to happen. Don't just be flying willy-nilly out there right now. Always have a backup plan or something if the stock market takes a bigger crash, or let's say rates go to 6, and you never know. Or let's say a war starts. Or we can't control those things. Control your own in between your ears, and control your own house. Keep your house in order, and things will be fine. So that's a little side note message there, trying to keep things positive and in line, and then employ qualified professionals that know what they're doing. That's something I would have to say. So back to credit repair and buying a new home. Is it possible? The answer is yes. Right? We've come to determine that you can do that with a plan, with a process, and with some work. Any other tips, Warren, for people? Obviously, reach out to you, but any other things that you want to add to say, hey, what can you do from a credit repair standpoint that people might want to know about or do that might be helpful?
Yeah, it's important to get educated. Again, as I had even mentioned earlier, right? Like, knowledge is power. And we've all heard that, and it's true. The more you understand, the better. And one of the great things about the service that we provide is not only are we going to, help remove those negative derogatory items from your credit report, but we're also going to educate and just show you how to, develop good spending habits, how to use your credit cards wisely, just making good life habits is going to improve the quality of life that you have. So, again, any questions you have with that, again, my cell phone number, 612-889-1117, where you can reach me direct, and then also our website, creditrepairminnesota.org.
Creditrepairminnesota.org. And the other thing that ties along with that is take the time. When we buy things, we're emotional. Very emotional.
Yep.
Oh, I have to have it. I have a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a baby on the way. My 3-year-old and 4-year-old, when they want something, they want it, and they want it now, and that doesn't matter what the heck. As you get to be adults, you don't want to be acting emotional all the time. You want to think, okay, take a couple days. Do I really, really need to spend that $10,000 on that entire entertainment package that I want in the basement? How much will I use it, or what will I do? Or do I really need to? And if I'm going to buy that, do I really need to finance it? That's if it's a depreciating asset. If it's a home, it's different, because generally those do appreciate, but you still want to put money down and all that stuff. So, maybe any other ideas or tips or things that you have to say, add to the topic, or any other information?
I'm gonna kind of edify Warren and Ben, because I do a lot of business with these guys right now. Ben, like Jason, saved me thousands of dollars on my home insurance and my vehicles, and having somebody who actually could explain it to me, so I knew what coverage I was getting. Because frankly, we get a car insured, or we get our house insured, or a snowmobile, or ATV, or a boat, or whatever it is. You don't really know what you got. You get this big, thick package. You don't read it. Ben actually sat down and explained to me the benefits of what I was getting when I switched to Farmers and actually used them. And Warren, the clients that I've been sending over to him, number one, he's on point. He makes sure that he reaches out to those clients. They do a free consultation for our clients so that the people know what game plan is going to be put in front of them. And I can't say enough good things about the opportunity that I've had to actually get to meet Warren, knowing how we can actually start piecing things together, doing the seminar that we're going to be doing at the end of the month on the 30th. There's a lot out there that we as a syndicate here, part of the show as our referral partners here, we have knowledge that it does us no good holding on to it. We want to share it with you, and if we are able to share that with you, it's going to help advance your life as well as ours. So,
yeah, I would second that motion. Thanks, Matty B. I think that's great, and I agree with it 100%. Eric Perkins, Minnesota Design Build, and Remax Results. I would not have. I've built some projects, but I didn't build them myself. Eric built them. I would have never done it without him, so I have to thank him for that, because he knows what he's doing. He's honest. He's from Rochester. I'm from Red Wing, so I actually trusted him. And it's tough to do, in the Twin Cities here because the builders and, all kinds of businesses, you can get kind of messed up. So, but we got through some hurdles and did some projects together. They've been phenomenal. And I wouldn't have been able to do it at all without Eric guiding the process because he's very good. And Eric does a lot of his own new builds and construction. So if you need and have questions about that, he'll be happy to help with those things. And then Ben Nelson is awesome. We already know. So please go to talktwincitiesrealestate.com or call us at 651-400-0773. And then you're busy, right? You are busy. Everybody's busy, especially now with the weather. It is so crazy. You just want to be outside. You want to enjoy it. You got events and birthdays and parties and work and all kinds of stuff. Take some time to educate and better yourself. I was at a seminar yesterday, and lo and behold, I meet Warren's sister at the seminar. Fluke deal. She works in credit repair as well and has a lot of people up in Duluth, in the Duluth market. So if you know anybody up there, they're a great company. Credit Repair Minnesota, they'll help out. And she's phenomenal. But other things that are coming up that put on your schedule if you want. March 30th, free event, 7 p.m. Contact Warren to reserve your spot for that on how to turn your rent payment into a mortgage payment. Real Estate Pros for a Cause, the breast cancer one we talked about, that's 6 p.m. on April 16th. You can go to bridesagainstbreastcancer.org. And then the Minnesota Remodeling Show, April 10th, 11th, and 12th. We'll be live from there. That's homeshowcenter.com. Thanks for a wonderful show. Thanks all the guests, Warren, Maddie B, Ben, and Eric. Thanks, Chris, the sound guy, who's always awesome back there. And Barry is back from Mexico, the video. Thank you, Barry, for being back from Mexico and making it back alive. You're listening to the Stockwell Roueche Show. We'll be back next week. And remember, love yourself and love others.